Sup, people? Hi. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluwamuiremide. I film about faith, lifestyle, and everything in between. Today, I'm not doing this alone. Today, I'm doing this with a very, very beautiful, special somebody to me, and she knows she's special to me. Quick backstory. I knew her before I met her. So yeah, somebody said, there's someone. Do you have a sister? There's someone who looks like you in so. And so when I met her, I knew what immediately I got introduced to her that her name is so. I just knew she was the person, right? And yeah, she's been that personal person to me. Like after this gist now, I have some personal discussion. So I always go to her just to lay off some burdens really, and she always has the right wisdom. And so the topic we're going to be discussing today, she is the perfect person for this discussion. Ladies and gentlemen of the tube, I present to you Miss Taiwan.
I was going to do drum roll for you, but anyway, I don't think that would be necessary anymore.
So introduce yourself to us.
So my name is Taiwo Adeshina. Yes, I'm a colleague and a friend to Iremide. No, let me use Oluwamuiremide. That's the tone. So she's been a very good colleague and sister to me, and I'm so grateful to God I met her.
I'm so grateful to God I met you too. She is. When I want to write about her, I say Miss Taiwo Adeshino, PhD in something in view. She's a PhD somebody. Let me tell you, the first time, hey, I've used 3 minutes to do this. The first time when we met, I was because we volunteered together, so everybody was just calling people by name and all of that. And me, I take I'm not part of the people that just call people name. I take it seriously. But when I perceive that you are my age mate or something, I feel comfortable enough to call you by name sometimes. So I started calling that Econo. Something just clicked in my head. I said, wait, it's PhD something in view. As at that time I was a fresh graduate, and so like she's humble, she's caring, she's just wonderful. She is married. That's why she's here. So the topic we're going to be discussing today is how to ask the hard questions. And being one of my latest married friends, I feel like she can throw some light to this topic of discussion. How to ask the hard questions in a relationship. So I was saying before we started just now, I was saying how it's so difficult for people to ask questions like questions you would be able to ask on a basic day. You can't ask your partner. So without further ado, let's get right into the business of the day. First question is, why do we avoid difficult questions in relationships even when we know they matter?
Okay, so thank you very much, Iremide. Most times we avoid difficult questions because of the fear of losing the person. But the truth of the matter is that it's quite important for persons or individuals with marriage in view to be friends actually. One of the things that helped me during my own relationship was friendship. We actually gave room for friendship before it was easy to ask those questions. It was not like as if we were just like into the talking stage for like a month or two, and then I was just maybe probably desperate about some things and I was asking the question and it was not even ready for those questions. No, we gave out time to be friends.
Thank you very much for that. I also feel like another one other thing, at least from my single pringle perspective, is that we are maybe scared to face the reality. But I think fear, yeah, just as you have said, fear is the constant fear of so many things. Yes, like what would they say? What will be the answer? How will this person feel? Won't this person think I'm too serious? But I also feel like we don't want to face the reality, early enough. Sometimes we already can perceive the answer. Like let's say genotype. If I'm AS and this person says, "Oh, they are AS," what then happens? We are not ready to. We love him too much to let go. So I think
You know, the truth is that it's quite important before you start anything to just, if there's a marriage in view, not just like friend for that matter, it's very important for both party to know their genotype, because then it's not like when exactly it doesn't matter. It's not a big question that it's, I don't know the word to put it now, but it's something that is important to know about. What's your genotype? Is it a big deal? I don't think it should be a big deal, but some people will feel like, why are you lawyering me, or why are you asking me some questions that it's like you are desperate or something like that. But then asking for genotype should not be an issue. It's something that is important. It lays the foundation of the relationship actually. Because from there you should be able to know if there's a future in it. It's not something that you'll have gone really deep and then there's no there's no way out. Even if you want to trust God for miracles, actually, as some people do, but then it's important and logical to understand that genotype is a key thing and it shouldn't be a fight or the end of the world.
My second question would be that what are the questions we already touched on genotype. We know that genotype is a big deal. Is a big deal. It is a big deal. If you are African, it's an extreme deal. So, what are the questions people should ask early but usually don't?
Number one, we've talked about genotype. That settles it. Put God first, which is very, very important. And I'm sure that for a Christian, you definitely will not want to go lesser. You actually want somebody like you, because obviously we know like exactly. So it's quite important for you that to know that wherever it is you are getting involved with is a Christian. Definitely you should know the person should be a child of God. That is very important. And then you need to sort of ask for the person's expectations. By what I mean by expectations is like, okay, presently, I know for people that are planning to get married, most important thing is how to be settled, or maybe to get finances together and the likes. So it's very important to ask them, okay, what are the good plans in balancing career and settling down? Because there are times that they will be like, are you so much in a hurry or something? But no, it's something that you just want to know how you want to balance your career. And there are some people that will feel like, okay, I still need to do this more, still need to, probably I want to study more, or I want to, because there was something that happened in my own case actually. Maybe I should just use mine as a quick scenario. When I graduated from school, was at the verge of graduating, my husband, then my friend, proposed to me. But then I told him that, oh, really? That I'm not ready now. I told him that we are both not ready. And I told him my plans. I said, see, actually, after completing this first degree, I plan to bag another degree. I plan to further more and study for my master's. It might not work for everybody that way, but I am just telling you, he has a goal in mind. The goal was marriage, although we were friends. And then he made the proposition. But then I had other plans at that time. It was not like as if I want to end the friendship or something, but I had my own other plans. So he brought his own question to me that, oh, I want to marry you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Do you agree, or what are your plans? So aside the fact that I told him I want to actually think about it and pray about it, I had to tell him my own plans too, that, oh, I want to pursue this for this period of time, and I would like to work for this period of time. Are you comfortable with it? If it's something you can work with. And I think we both need to improve on ourselves. Depends on which level you are. Like, what do you plan to do for yourself? What do you plan to achieve for yourself? I think as the relationship progress, you will have the time to talk more about some other things. You can talk about hobbies. You can talk about what do you enjoy doing. Like, what do you enjoy doing? It's not all the time that you get to know. They are not hard. That's why I said you need to come in soft, because if you come in hard, okay, that, oh, exactly. But because if you hack, okay, so what do you plan? Do you want us to have a common purse? Do you want us to? The guy will be like, I think finances was the very last thing I did. It was at the tail end when we were about getting married that we talked about finances, intimacy, and some other things were the last things that came in. There was a day that while we were still friends, I've not even given him a yes. There was a day it was like, that, do you ever feel cramps when you're on your period? It was surprising to me that I've always been a strong person. I don't show, that there are some other people that they feel cranky when they're on their period. And then so it was easy for him to ask me that, Do you ever feel pain when it was something I wasn't expecting? So in my head, I was like, why do you ask this question? He said he just wanted to know that every time I appear strong. So it was easy for him to continue to ask some other question that he feels he needs answer to. So I don't want us to be too hard on ourselves that, oh, I'm this strong person, or we give a very sharp answer sometimes. So it reduces the level of communication. And then sometimes when we are talking and we're giving like a one answer, probably, well, no, yes, it doesn't create that flow. You understand? So it depends on our responses too, that increases some other questions that can come in.
Me, I have hard
Yeah,
questions to
hard
ask.
question.
Hard questions like finance. I feel like, okay, thank you very much, firstly, because I feel like you have even answered the how to ask hard questions. Start soft, basically. Don't enter into courtship of yesterday and or today, and you're already, throwing out the hard questions. But when while you were talking, I also thought of like gender expectations. I feel like it's a big thing now in relationships. I feel like there there is this classification grouping that is going on that needs to be talked about, because then you hear that some men don't cook. Me self, I don't eat. So so what are we talking about? Like I feel like family is one thing. Maybe I know this now because I'm in that space. So your family, what's your family like? What's your relationship with God like? What's you mentioned your hobbies, and that's actually, I was thinking it's a soft question before, but it's actually hard question, because it's important to know what you spend your time on when you are away from everything. And while you were talking also, I think you were already making some moves towards the next actual question, which is like, what's the difference? How do we recognize, oh, this is bad timing or avoidance?
Now, how do we know bad timing and to shy away from some some questions? To me, honestly, how will I put it now? There are times that maybe because I'm the female, and female sometimes used to give attitude, yes, and conservative. So I'm so grateful to God that most of my friends, they are like somebody that read reactions somehow. When you're trying to ask somebody about a particular question and the person is not giving you a direct answer, you should probably know that the person is avoiding that. Okay, let's say you met somebody for the first time and then you were trying to ask the person about past relationships. That, okay, oh, how has been your past relationship like? What kind of person were you dating before we actually met, and what happened or what ended the relationship? There are some people that would not want to answer that question. You be like, so why would you want to? So in that case, when you ask that question, you obviously know the person is avoiding or probably is not in a good mood to ask that question. So obviously you know the person is not calm enough to answer that question, or probably person is thinking that why is she trying to dig about my past, which is quite important. Obviously everybody has been in one relationship or the other, and there must have been something that led to the breakup or issue, and you starting afresh, it is important for you to know. So when you're asking such a question and the person is not answering on a hand somehow, so it's sort of like avoiding the question, I don't think it's a bad time. But then when he keeps avoiding such question, then it should be a red flag for you, because that means there are some things he's keeping or is hiding, or possibly wants to be blaming the other person. When you ask again and then it's putting blame on the other partner, it should be another red flag for you, because you will know that for anything it takes fault with what you do and never sees wrong. So asking questions like that, it could be an avoidance. Then bad timing, sometimes it could be, okay, one of the questions to me that I feel like bad timing is about intimacy. When I eventually accepted my husband's proposal, and then he was trying to bring in the question of sex, I I would always act like as if I did not hear that part. Or so it felt like it was bad timing at that time, and it was not what I was. Anytime he brings up that issue, I don't give straight answers. Is either I talk about something else, I shall try to deviate from the question. So he feels there was a day he was just so vocal and said, is it a bad timing for me to ask you about this? And I said, actually, it is, because there's a part in the scriptures that said, do not awake love until it's time, actually.
Solomon chapter 2, verse 7.
Exactly. So I was like, I don't think I'm mentally or emotionally ready to answer questions like that. And then he never answered. I'll be asked anymore.
Okay, the next question is, what should be your reaction to answers that deviates from expectations?
The question about family, I think, is very, very, very important, because if the person is not willing to disclose, then it's actually a red flag for you, and it's something to know that you're not wasting your time, actually. So your reaction to it should be firm. To me, should be firm, should be straight. It's like asking a person, maybe you're just trying to follow up on person's lifestyle or Christianity. There are some things that my husband still used to ask me, be like, do you still study the word? Do you still pray? And be like, "Ah, why are you asking me that question?" He said there are some things he's noticing, and he just feels you should ask the question. I'm a Christian, yes. I pray, I study the word, but to me, does it feel like it's not enough? You understand? So, but then, and I realized that actually he just wants to help me grow. And then I just came out simply. I'll be like, the truth of the matter is, I get tired. I just get tired of doing, okay, so how can I help you? That next question comes in, how can I help you? And be like, okay, can we start? Let's just pick a day of the week, then we pray together. And that. So that solves that question. Maybe we were just jokingly talking about the fact that, as a lady, I don't cook, oh, I order food. And the guy will be like, what do you expect? So that means you'll be spending more on food rather than cooking. Or some other people that tell you, I don't do chores, I don't wash clothes, I don't. The other people like that, you understand? So it's something that you could either try to help the person at, or it's a red flag for you.
Thank you very much, Miss T. You've done justice to the topic. Thank you for coming out. Yes. Yes. God bless you. So, bye. That's all for now. Give us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and then we'll see you in the next video. Prayers, hugs, kisses. I love you. We love you.